Greetings, Earthlings. Welcome to Nature Obscura, a podcast where nature and the supernatural collide. I'm Marissa.
And I'm Grace. Each week, we share spooky happenings from the great outdoors.
Now, while we love a haunted house or a scary hospital story, that's not what we're here for. We're taking you around the globe to explore where nature and the supernatural intersect.
At the beginning of each episode, we'll briefly share any spooky or naturey encounters we've had over the past week before diving into the main story.
So grab your flashlight, listen closely, and let's step into the strange together.
Marissa, have you had anything spooky or naturey happen this past week?
Nothing traditionally spooky, except that I am now T-minus 72 hours from heading on a flight to Louisiana, and I still can't find my driver's license. You know, we'll get there, and it'll be fine. So that's the main spooky thing. But I say the naturey thing is we got to attend a birding expo over the weekend, and that was a lot of fun.
It was so great getting to talk about birds all day long.
What about you? Anything spooky happening to you or naturey outside of the expo?
I have something that's not your typical spooky. So we found out this evening that our refrigerator is warm. So we have to throw out all of our food. Scary in a much different way. Scary as in, we just went grocery shopping and now we have to throw it all away.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not sure what's
that
going on.
sucks.
It does suck.
That
And what's even
stinks.
worse is I have to get up even earlier tomorrow to make the bottles tomorrow for my baby. Ugh, I can't even do it ahead of time.
Oh goodness. That is pretty horrifying in a different way.
It is. But I do have something kind of naturey. So, well, and spooky if you think about it. So, the other night, James and I, we were sitting in the living room just playing with the baby, kind of watching some TV. I look past James out into the yard and I had a jump scare. Scared the crap out of me. There was just like 2 deer heads outside the window.
How close?
They must have been about 10 feet, which is still really close.
That's close. I wonder if the past owners fed them. Like, why are they getting so
I don't
close in
know.
the yard?
I don't know. It's insane how close they get. And then yesterday, I was looking out the window at dusk, and there were 4 deer frolicking in the yard because we've kind of had
Aw.
a thaw, right? So there was some mud. They loved it. I think they must have been young deer who were like, "Oh my
Aw,
god,
yeah.
finally winter is over."
That's so cool.
It was really cute. And then all at once, they all just like ran into the forest. You could see them hopping through the trees. And then one just like ran from the other side of the yard, stopped, and was like, "Where'd all my friends go?" And then just
Aw.
like ran into the woods after them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it is really cool to see the deer. And Zatara, my cat, loves them. He loves seeing them. So yeah.
Right, it's a whole game changer compared to the birds. I mean, because I know Zatara loves to watch birds, but now deer too? That's
Mm-hmm.
exciting for him. This week, we are traveling to central Norway, a small village known for its Christmas markets and something else otherworldly. Mysterious lights that have been plaguing the sky for the past several decades and is leaving scientists and investigators throughout the world baffled. Today, we're traveling to Hessdalen, the UFO capital of the world. Grace, do you want to give us the inside scoop on all the habitat, flora, and fauna there?
Of course. All right. So, the Hessdalen sits deep in central Norway. It's a long and narrow stretch of land shaped by isolation. The valley runs a little over 9 miles, or 15 kilometers, with only a handful of year-round residents. Scattered farms, seasonal cabins, and quiet holiday houses are scattered along the valley floor. Once, mining brought noise and industry. Now, those operations are mostly gone, and the landscape feels, at first glance, very still. Hessdalen sits within the broader Forwallhogna mountain region. This is not a landscape of jagged alpine peaks. It's a softer mountain plateau, rolling highlands and gently sloping valleys carved by ice and time. Beneath the quiet but beautiful landscape, the earth itself tells a story of its own. Hessdalen is rich in mineral veins, zinc, iron, and copper, all set into layers of granite, gneiss, slate, sandstone, and limestone. This complex geology of the land is known to create magnetic quirks and odd electrical readings, which can seemingly lead to otherworldly experiences. But before we get into that, I want to touch on the ecology of the landscape. This region holds a host of life, including nearly 500 distinct plant species. At lower elevations, you'll find willow scrub, heather, and alpine shrubs. One of the signature plants is mountain avens, a low, white flowered shrub that blankets rocky slopes. The flowers act like a satellite dish that turns to follow the sun to stay warm, attracting insects, which help with pollination. Mountain avens roots help to stabilize the soil, and their fallen leaves help form humus, which is essentially the finished product of decomposition. And that shelters seedlings from the alpine plants. And then there's reindeer moss. Despite its name, it isn't actually moss at all, but a complex symbiotic partnership between fungi and algae that grows at a super slow rate of just 3 to 11 millimeters per year, meaning that a single patch can be decades old. Its high concentration of usnic acid makes it bitter and indigestible for most species. Reindeer have evolved specialized stomach bacteria to transform the scrub into a high calorie fuel source that accounts for 90% of their winter diet. A super cool fun fact for you: reindeer lichen acts as a canary in the coal mine for scientists because it absorbs nutrients directly from the air and dies off quickly in the presence of pollution. These plants aren't just pretty. They form the foundation of food webs, hold soil against erosion, retain moisture in the landscape, and create the microhabitats that let insects, amphibians, and small mammals thrive.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit on a roller coaster because you said moss and I got really excited, and then you said, but it's not moss, and I got like disappointed. But then you explained what it is. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Fine,
Yeah,
we'll take it.
actually, not moss.
So it was just like, oh, okay, but it's cool.
It is cool. Wildlife in and around Hessdalen is abundant, though often elusive. The large and solitary moose, known locally as elk, browse willows and birches, shaping the low shrub community and creating browsing refuges that other species use. And then there's the wolverine, known scientifically as gulo gulo, a name that literally translates from Latin to glutton. This nickname is very well earned, as these animals are famous for their voracious appetites and unpicky diets. As solitary wanderers, they require vast, untouched territories to thrive. Wolverines act as both hunters and scavengers. Ultimately, spotting one is a powerful indicator of a healthy, well connected wilderness. Smaller mammals like mountain hares, red foxes, and voles form the foundation of the food web, but the true masters of the landscape are the raptors patrolling from above. The gerfalcon, the largest falcon in the world, often hunt through surprise and flush tactics, hugging the terrain at high speeds to ambush other birds, which is their main prey, like the ptarmigan and waterfowl. The golden eagle, one of the world's most powerful predators, uses eyesight 8 times sharper than a human's to spot its prey from miles away. When they strike, they enter a 200 miles per hour dive, hitting their target with enough force to tackle prey as large as a young reindeer. And while the golden eagle is impressive, Norway's largest raptor, with its massive 7-foot wingspan, is the white-tailed eagle. Also, random fact: the white-tailed eagle is the national bird of Germany.
That's cool. I had never even heard of a white-tailed eagle.
I know, I hadn't either.
I'm a little concerned with how good the golden eagle's eyesight is, and now I'm wondering, do a lot of birds have really, really awesome eyesight? And when I'm working with them, are they just like examining every pore of my face and all
Asked
the
me,
imperfections?
I didn't know they could see a rabbit from miles away. That's
Yeah,
insane.
that's insane. It's awesome.
That is scary. But eagles, they love to fish, and they even have specialized scales on their feet to grab fish right out of the water without dropping them. This area hosts fish like the Atlantic salmon and brown trout, feeding not only eagles, but bears, river microbes, and soil fungi. People have been a part of this place for millennia. Ancient trapping systems, Stone Age hunting pits, and long used summer farms called setter show that humans moved with the seasons, using highland meadows for grazing and lower valleys for shelter. Much of the region is now protected within Foralhogna National Park, balancing conservation with living culture heritage of mountain farming. The blend of geology, ecosystems, and history gives Hessdalen its character, whether you're watching the aurora, spotting a moose, or tracking a golden eagle. You feel natural forces meet the strange. It's a valley where the earth holds deep mineral secrets, and nature keeps its own mysteries.
Picture it. It's it's just before Christmas, 1981. You're in middle of nowhere, Hessdalen Valley, Norway. Mountains covered in snow surrounding the valley as you step into the dark, crisp night. The sky was crystal clear, with stars sprinkling across the horizon, something out of an idyllic holiday scene. Suddenly, however, three lights appear. This following encounter is what happened to John Arvid Aspas. Upon hearing from other locals of a light that had gone down behind the closest mountain, John decided to make the trek to a nearby valley to try and see the light for himself, and what he saw astonished him. After sitting for just a short period of time, bundled in layers protecting them from the blistering cold, his group saw a light on the side of the valley, just past the mountains, but not above them. Suddenly, another light appeared next to that initial light. After some time, a third light appeared. Through binoculars, the middle and right lights began to move. The two lights passed one another as if swapping spots. The lights were not the movement of stars or some known aircraft. It looked as if it was a cognizant star with coordinated, intelligent movements. After sitting and watching a while longer, the middle light began to rise and grow in size before quickly ascending out of sight and out of view. Another light had made its way down to purposefully take its position. John determined that there had to be communication between the strange unidentified objects. The way they were moving was just way too coordinated. The previously middle light stopped ascending. It began to make its way straight towards John and his eldest son. The object shone in the moonlight, and it became evident that the object was actually solid metal with a line of lights along the exterior. Sometime later, John was in the backyard with his son another night when a glowing orb descended from the sky and hovered above his barn. When it started moving west towards the mountain range, turning on what appeared to be giant spotlights shining down and scanning the valley and hillside as it moved its way out of town. He noted that when the planes came, the lights would shut off, only turning back on once the identifiable aircraft were out of the area. Despite efforts for the following 2 years to roam around and try to get a closer look or better idea of what that phenomenon is to better understand it, the efforts were unsuccessful. John realized he had no control of whether or not he could see the lights, but he did know that they had control if they wanted to see him.
To me, it kind of sounds like a modern day drone, like with the coordinated movements. But I mean, this is the
Exactly.
80s, right?
Right. So, I mean, could they have had some sort of weird drone technology back then that we weren't aware of? I mean,
I mean, even
it's
drones today, they don't have
possible.
those lights and they don't scan
Right,
areas,
the
right?
scanning, and it sounds like they are of, like, considerable size, where from what I understand, most drones are relatively small, so it's just very abnormal, and it's definitely not, a shooting star, anything like that. The coordination of them hovering in a sequence, them changing positions evenly is just all very strange. John's account is one of many from a time in the early 80s of unexplained aerial phenomena that surged during the valleys of this region. Between 1981 to 1985, there were around 20 sightings a week. In 1984 alone, they had 50 actually documented incidents.
Oh my god. 20 a week is insane. Multiple a day.
Right. And the thing is, not only are they having such high volume of sightings in the early 80s, it wasn't even just a specific type of light. So we're actually going to talk about there's four different unexplained light phenomena that's occurring in this area. It goes deep. Like, this is the episode, what feels like 8 months ago, when I said, the episode I'm doing in a few weeks, I think involves aliens or something like that. This is that episode. It's crazy.
I love good alien stories.
Let's get into it. So, despite the concentration during the early 1980s, upon looking into the history of the region, these strange lights have been appearing one way or another, frequently or less frequently, since at least the 1800s. What started as strange tales of ancestors long gone became the confirmation to those witnessing those strange lights that they weren't crazy after all. Maybe John had a grandma who told stories of weird lights in her youth, and he's like, no way. And then Christmas morning, he sees, or Christmas night, he sees that. I mean, I'd feel pretty validated if I were that ancestor. So, activity has waned since the mid 80s, but there is still a decent number of sightings each year. It typically hovers around 20 sightings a year.
That's still a huge number. For modern day?
It is a huge number. And again, a lot of this is actually recorded. You can watch these videos, you can watch these observations and see it happening through the database system they have on this Hessdalen Valley. During this time, the 12-kilometer valley consisted of around only 150 residents, and the mysterious lights were widely known and observed through everyone that lived there, with the unexplained lights exhibiting a strange number of behaviors, including sitting completely still for hours at a time. I don't like that.
No.
Extreme slow or extreme speed, neither possibly made by man-made aircraft, also hate, because how slow, how fast? It'd be creepy if it was started super, super slow and then went extreme fast, which I'm assuming some of the lights probably did.
It's so creepy because they're just sitting there and you almost have to think they're just observing, you know?
Right, like what are they doing? So the highest times of sightings seem to be in the winter, likely due to the longer nights associated with the season. The lights would appear in different shapes and colors, yellow white football shapes to multicolored or red or blue shapes, even the shape of a bullet. Some of the lights were even described as being shaped like an upside down tree.
It's a weird shape.
It is a very weird shape, very different than, like a football, your standard UFO, or like a bullet. In response to these unusual sightings, Project Hessdalen, an international nonprofit organization, was founded in June of 1983 to research and ultimately determine the cause of the lights. This organization was founded 43 years ago now, and they still cannot determine the cause of these lights.
They need to get, like, a net or something that can just, like, sweep across the land and catch something.
Giant okay, they're looking for volunteers, and I think you're onto something with that because they do have a lot of stuff they do. I have not heard of just getting a large, large net and sweeping it across the sky as what they've done just yet. So I think you're onto something there.
Or I have
Um,
another one. What if they just shined a light at the light?
that's a great question. I don't know. I don't know if they've done that. They have, however, presented at international UFO conferences, submitted research papers on the lights. They conduct nearly annual field research, and more. And just a heads up, everyone, the biennial conference is this year, August 29th to August 31st, 2026,
What is biennial?
every 2 years.
Oh, okay.
4 types of phenomena are defined by Project Hessdalen. Type 1, blue-white flashes. Type 2, yellow lights, long duration, can split or contain smaller lights. Type 3, multiple lights in formation. And 4, solid shapes. Think saucers or cigars, or bullets or upside down trees. The organization has a 24/7 sensor running called the Blue Box, which has been running continuously since 1998. And this is done in addition to their yearly fieldwork research. Radars of the blue box detect lights that are not visible to the human eye, and lights that are visible are not detected on the radar, vice versa. It's really strange. Project Hessdalen is described by those as part of the organization as a UFO laboratory. Quote, it's a place where things are happening and where things can be studied. Whatever it turns out to be, it's terribly important. And that was from member J. Allen Hynek. In addition to Project Hessdalen's research efforts, they have opportunities for others to get involved. Grace, this is where you come in with all your awesome ideas. This includes the Hessdalen UFO Camp, where you can volunteer, an active Discord community, and that every 2-year conference I told you about. They also have an annual September field trip to the site to conduct research. So during this, they go on site, they check the sensors, the database systems, everything they have. They're looking for other radars to detect things. They get all that installed, set up, they make sure it's running good, and then they collect evidence.
That sounds so fun. Can you imagine if we had something like that around us?
It'd be so cool. The main objectives at this time for the organization is to develop modern anomaly detection systems, and each field trip they do has attendees help set up and test those sensors and cameras, all in hope of once and for all figuring out the cause of these unexplained lights. The Blue Box is the world's first autonomous multi-sensor and optical anomaly detection system. The Blue Box collects and transfers enabled image, video, and data transfer. Powered by batteries and solar panels, it even has internet. The Blue Box is set in the northeastern part of the valley on the mountains of Ragna Hegstep Mountain, and the CCD camera has a wide angle lens of 107 degrees covering an expansive view of the valleys. All reports, photos, and streams are available online for viewing. Described as a citizen science project, with the board and volunteers from around the world of all different backgrounds, they have opportunities for volunteering and even donating supplies for the organization to continue their research.
Real question. Have you looked it up yet?
Of course. This is where I got a lot of the information I did get directly from the Project Hessdalen Valley organization's website. They have a great website. It's all volunteer run. And it's not just not that random people on the internet aren't fine. They are. But it actually has scientists, physicists, astronomists, people who are educated within the field of the realm, like actual legitimate scholarly people that lend some credence and I feel like weight to the work they're doing. It's not just a bunch of UFO conspiracy theorists. They are thoroughly searching and trying to figure out the causes, whether it is natural or not. The blue box is like it's like a blue cargo shed. But hey, does a lot of cool work. When I was looking, so it is available for streaming. Right now, it is temporarily down the live streaming of the radar detection system they have. So hopefully, in the next few months or by the time they do their field trip out there in the fall, it'll be put back up in streaming because I'd love to take a look.
Yeah, I wonder if they've caught anything on it because if people are still seeing this weekly, it has to catch something.
Yes, so it has caught a lot of things. So this phenomena, these strange lights, aren't just word of mouth. They have been extensively documented, both by private citizens just encountering them, as well as the Blue Box and the Project Hestilins radar detective equipment they have. I am actually going to play you a couple short clips.
Okay, I'm watching the video now. It's a basic landscape, but it looks like there's a light going across the sky, kind of like a shooting star, but it's coming closer and it's getting brighter. And we zoomed up on and yeah, I'm not sure what it is. It's definitely not a shooting star because it's moving slow, coming towards us, and it's really not too high. Like it's pretty high up there, like below the clouds, but above the trees. I don't know. That is so bizarre. We need a net to catch it.
We need a net. Where's the net? I need a butterfly net. Darn it. This is actually the first video and the most famous blue box capture. So this video was actually recorded just 1 year after it was set up. The next video is from a science camp. So from that UFO camp I was talking about earlier, for if you're interested in attending, a group of students were filming the phenomena in the video and you can hear their fright. They were freaking out. They were like, "Oh, I'm just trying to get some extra credit for my science class or whatever." And they actually encountered some very strange lights.
All right, I'm gonna watch it right now. It's 16 seconds long. Okay, so this is at nighttime. Looks like there's 4 lights kind of blinking on and off. Wait, oh gosh, it's turning into a lot of lights. Oh my god, this is startling. It kind of looks like there's been an explosion in the sky, but it's, like, stopped, and it's kind of moving all together, and it's like 1 light turned into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights. I don't like that. I would be scared too.
Right. What Grace is very politely leaving out is these kids are freaking out and, like, screaming in the video. At least how I remembered it when I
Yeah, no,
looked.
they are scared.
Yeah, which I would be too. What do we know of? Like, a drone can't do that. This is modern times. It's not the Starlink or whatever, which everyone likes to say, like, all unexplained aerial phenomena is now, like, the
Oh,
Starlink,
yeah, I
those
totally thought that was an
satellites.
alien once. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
convinced. I even texted you, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh, I actually think it was it when you were in, like, Canada or
Yeah.
something? Okay, yep, I
Christine
remember
was like,
that.
"I think I'm looking at an alien spaceship right
Of course, I remember all of my friends' potential alien encounters or
now."
potential encounters with the Starlink. Um, yeah, just very strange.
Mhm. Yeah, very different, but also it's so bright.
It adds a whole another weird layer.
Mhm.
Well, in 1983, during the height of the summer, Steve Havoc had a frightening encounter with a silver wingless airplane-like object that seemed to appear out of an invisible portal, showing up out of absolutely nowhere. And that's something that has been consistently described by numerous witnesses who have seen these lights, that they just appear out of nowhere without rhyme or reason. As Leaf saw the craft, he developed intense physical sensations, including tingling in his limbs and pressure in his head. The sensations further to feeling like he had lost his sense of free will and he blacked out. He
No.
described, yeah, that's disgusting, as in horrifying. He described hearing a voice delivering him messages he could not understand the meaning of. He eventually awoke from the blackout and he hurriedly ran back to his car, trying to make sense of what just happened. Like, do the aliens not realize that he doesn't speak the alien language? I wonder what the messages said.
Mhm.
Obviously, he doesn't even know, so how could he relay that? But I wonder if it was like broken English or he was just so, or obviously not English. The world doesn't revolve around
Mhm.
America. It's what language do they speak here? I don't know.
Norway? Norwegian? That is so scary. I mean, to actually have an experience and not just see the lights, but, like, you have that come over you, and oh, yeah, you have to live with that the rest of your life.
That would give me nightmares for sure. I
Mhm.
don't think I'd ever be able to be outside at night again. Another instance, thankfully, doesn't involve any loss of free will or mind control, but it's still something more than just strange lights in the sky. Another instance in 1983, observed by Arnfinn Grededal, was when they were sitting in their cabin when a light passing through the sky shone so brightly it lit up the otherwise dark living room. They went out and looked over the marsh when they noticed an apparent flying saucer landed and a door opened with a staircase descending from the door. Some inhuman beings came out, short with long arms. The beings walked around the craft as if inspecting it and stood there for a while. They eventually returned into the craft and it rose straight up, a flame seeming to take it away before it quickly disappeared.
It's like they're just checking to see, "Oh, did we close the gas tank or something?"
Right, they're like, "Oh, we forgot to change the oil."
Yeah. The landing gear is a little off.
Yeah. Between the documented evidence of strange lights, of various looks and behaviors, and in addition to the downright chilling encounters people have had, there is a lot to unpack and sift through. So much, in fact, I feel like I couldn't do it justice by putting it all in one episode because Grace is going to have the awesome honor of breaking down what they think possible scientific theories on what this could be. And then I'll dive into what others think it could be. Aliens next
Aliens.
week. Aliens, of course. Um, One big thing, and we'll discuss it as well then, is while they have tried to make some progress in figuring out what could cause these lights, there is no one theory that applies to all of these lights and all these observations. They just can't figure it out. It is something unknown, whether it's something that we just don't understand yet that is of this world or not. I guess we'll have a better understanding and find out next week.
I wonder if the government would ever get involved because 'cause I've heard of some things where you see a UFO and then you see a US jet fly super fast to try to catch it. I wonder if the Norwegian government would do anything. I mean, this is just a nonprofit, right?
Right. So there isn't any, from what I have read, there is no official government organization looking into this, which
Maybe they should.
is a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull up the site real quick, but yeah, from what I recall, I don't recall any official government agencies being involved.
I mean, it's kind of a breach of security if you don't know what it is.
Right.
National security.
I don't know if it's because it's so remote. There's like, yeah, it happens. Like,
Right.
that's fair.
Or, "Oh, we don't believe those people, they're crazy. It's the fumes."
Oh, they also have monthly status meetings. So I am on the Project Hessdalen website right now. It's hessdalen.org. They have monthly status meetings. You can become a member. They have the 2026 UAP, which is the preferred, classically unidentified flying objects, UFOs, have what we like most commonly refer to as, alien saucer, that sort of stuff. It seems that in scientific communities, and I've noticed like with the government, with all that stuff coming out about the US and having those files, they refer to it as UAPs, maybe to kind of make it a step away from UFO so people don't immediately think of aliens. But I'm still thinking aliens, let's be honest. So
Yeah.
UAP is unidentified aerial phenomena instead of unidentified flying object. Yeah, they have some impressive people as part of the board, and really the website's awesome. It goes into all the blue box, the instruments they use, the cameras, how you can help them out, and the witness reports. A lot of the episodes we've done so far, ghosts, spirits, that sort of thing. There isn't many credible reports, no papers, no scientific papers really, or even photo evidence. That's not the case for this. There is just hundreds and hundreds of recorded documents and sightings that you can sift through. Next week, we're going to be diving into some of the stranger encounters that have occurred, including some more modern ones. And it's going to be showing over a nearly half century of abnormal lights.
Wow, I can't wait for that. I kinda wanna just go on a deep dive right after this. Just look up all the videos but I'm not going to. I want the surprises.
There's The theories can be a little dense, so thank you, Grace, for taking over. You're gonna have to try and explain some physics to us,
Oh, yeah, I'm
from what I
so smart. I
understand.
got this. I know
You know
physics.
physics.
I know
Grace is a
science.
physicist. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have detailed sightings, including drawings of what they encountered. We're diving deep, and maybe we're gonna figure out what's causing these lights after all.
We'll just talk
Um,
through it. We got this.
exactly. We'll come prepared to this year's conference with some big nets.
Mhm, mhm. Or at least some plans because, yeah, that is
Just
a
some
big
plans for
net.
some nuts, for sure. So the blue box, that radar detecting system that the project uses, not only captures the unexplained phenomena of, possible UFOs or just those strange lights, it also includes a lot of other things, like red sprites, which are apparently large scale electrical discharges you can see, light pillars, meteors, northern lights, insects, of course, and your favorite, our favorite, birds. So I've attached some photos here at the end showing these really amazing patterns of the bird flight that they get that are flying in front of the blue box. So it's really cool. I don't know how to describe it. Are you
It's
better at describing it?
beautiful. Yeah, it's just, like, shot by shot of these birds with their wings open and flying. They're going up and down, and there's so many of them. It's beautiful.
It's really cool being able to see the pattern that they follow in the sky. So very
And I
interesting.
love the second one, how it's like the bird does not even open its wings.
I wonder what type of bird that is.
Well, I know I mean, they have different birds there, right? But I know here in the US, finches, they fly like that, where will kind of go an up and down pattern, where they hold their wings super tight as they're going up, and then when they get to that lower bottom part, um, I'm great at physics. At that lower bottom part, they'll open up their wings, and it kind of looks like it could be like that.
That sounds right. And this conversation is giving me faith in having you dissect those
Thank
physics
you.
theories for us.
I know all
I
the
feel super
physics
good.
words. I'm
Heck
playing
yeah.
dumb.
So we'll post some of these bird photos that the blue box captured, and we'll make sure to credit Project Hessdalen. We love anything strange and mysterious. But something so widely documented, a citizen science group. I love getting involved in citizen science. As far as, like frog and toad call surveys, I'm there. And I guess if there was a citizen science program for UFOs in our area, we'd be signed up. Of
I mean, have
course.
we searched for it?
We haven't. We haven't. Okay, we'll get on that. We'll let you guys know next week if we've been able to sign ourselves up for, or we can make our own. But we're busy. We're busy. We're busy. Yeah, we'll look into it.
For the scare scale this week, let's do if you are contacted by aliens like that guy, you get an uneasy feeling, you start to feel like you can't move, you hear voices that you can't quite understand in your head, and then you black out. What do you feel when you wake up? So, the scare scale, measuring the fear factor. 1 is calm, harmless. You're like, oh, whatever, just move on with your life. It doesn't really matter. 5 gives you a good creepy chill, something you'll laugh about later. 10, something that will haunt you for the rest of your life indefinitely. You are not the same person. What do you think, Marissa?
10,000% a 10. I would be very traumatized. I'm trying to make it a plus. I will use this as an opportunity to write a biography tell-all on my experience.
Most definitely. You got to use that experience.
Got to make that money through that trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what about you?
I agree. 10 for sure. I mean, I get the heebie jeebies just hearing you talk about this secondhand. No, third hand, basically. And like, even when I watch documentaries about this kind of stuff with aliens, I get the heebie jeebies. And there was this one point where I was watching a Netflix documentary, and it was the most convinced I've ever been about aliens. I went outside to my sunroom. It was a really nice sunset, just like they described in the series. And I told myself, I said out loud, actually, okay, I think I'm ready. I want the aliens to come right now. But then, like, 2 seconds
No.
later, I was like, "Oh my god, wait, no, I really don't. I don't wanna see aliens. It's gonna ruin my life, like, please don't." And, like, I regretted even saying that out loud.
That's so crazy you said that because I was just thinking of people that want to meet an alien or like they joke that they want to get abducted. It's like, I'm not playing around with that. I'm not, no.
'Cause, like, at first you're like, "Yeah, let's go see an alien. Like, I wanna see an alien. That'd be so cool." But, like, that'll change your life.
Right. No, seriously. And this episode is kind of so like timely and funny because I just sent you, I think the video it was yesterday, but Obama recently did an interview where he was just casually like, aliens are real. They didn't show me the direct like evidence. I didn't talk to them myself, but yeah, they're there.
So
My
casual.
cousins.
Yeah, they're
That's
real,
great.
but they're not where you think they are, or I've never seen them.
If I were president, I want to do a lot of different things. To be clear, I would definitely be like, show me the UFOs.
Mhm.
Show me what's
Mhm.
going on at Area 51. Give me the details.
Yes. The thing is, though, I want to see a behavioral analysis go over his reaction to the question. Like, okay, he said aliens are real, but is the rest of it true? Like, is he showing signs where he's lying? You know what I mean?
Oh, we
Like
need
little tells.
yes,
The
the
way he
little
like takes the
tells.
drink, it's like, is he trying to hide his emotions?
Yes. Well, and he's been backtracking because I think Obama underestimated people latching on to that, like, because that was just such a small snippet of the interview, and people are like, "What?" And he's having to backtrack. Like, I've seen, like,
Really?
clarifying statements from him. Yeah, like, "Oh, he never saw evidence, he was just saying that, so"
Okay, we all know
Really?
aliens are real. I mean, they have to be.
Yeah, they have to be, scientifically. They have to be.
Yeah. I feel like I might just be spitballing here, but I feel like in our lifetime, and we're relatively young, I think it's gonna come out. I mean, just with what's going on
Yeah.
in like politics and like Congress, like I don't know what happened with all of that, but for a while it was huge.
Right, right. Yeah, everyone and all of that stuff came out, all those files a few years back. Yeah.
It was a distraction.
Uh, it was a distraction. Yeah, I agree with you. Okay, I'm thinking Men in Black real quick. When Will Smith becomes a member of the Men in Black, which I would think would be really cool. They have the scanner, like they have like the detection system and they monitor all the aliens that are on Earth. And he's like, "Hey, that's my fourth grade teacher. I knew she was weird." You don't obviously have to say anyone's specific names, but do you know anyone or have you met anyone that you're like, "Yeah, I'd believe they're an alien."
Do you?
I think I do, and I just thought of it after I finished asking you that. An 8th grade teacher. She wasn't my teacher. There was something about her. I don't know. Like when you know, and it's like maybe they were an alien.
I don't know, I kinda think, like, an alien might disguise themselves as, like, a cat.
I could see Zatara being an alien. He's pretty smart.
Mhm. Right? But other than that, I'm gonna think on that probably all night. I'm gonna lay there
Okay.
in my bed, just be like, "Aliens."
Who's an alien? All right. Well, that wraps up this week's episode of Nature Obscura. Make sure to join us next week where we dive deep into the theories behind this mysterious lights, as well as get some more firsthand modern encounters with more evidence to sift through. Until then, make sure to follow us on Instagram and Facebook. And, don't forget to shoot us an email and leave us a review wherever you get your podcast, or we'll make the lights come for you. Do, 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 do.
Stay obscure, Earthlings.
Transmission ending.